Alright, I got a personal message. Somebody wanted to see exactly how I would make this shell without taping it. So I'm going to show the whole entire thing. I start off with paper hemis, and I have a little 1-inch tube in there with hot glue at the base, and then hot glue at the top, so that no hot gases or flames can get through. So it's kind of sealed off. So the fuse would burn inside that tube. And there's 2 pieces of visco. Okay? So then I have another hemi, half, it's empty. And I get 2 of them that seem to fit together pretty well, because sometimes some are oversized. But I want 2 surfaces that can go together really nice, like that, with minor adjustment. Okay, so the stars that I have right here were for a 4-inch shell, but I only have one 4-inch mortar, so I'm just gonna use them in 3-inch shells, and they're a little big, but I just packed these 2 halves as neat as I could get it without going crazy. And they're kind of big stars, so you kind of run out of options. But after I've done that, I get my brake powder, and I just fill up each half. And I got here is meal coated on Rice Krispies. Okay, and I don't want them to be over full so much, but kind of right on. You don't. If they're over full, you can't squeeze them together. And then I'm just gonna level them off. Okay. Now at this point, I'm gonna have to take these and put them together. But if you get one of these Rice Krispies that fall out of here and land on the side when you're putting it together, it kind of screws you up. So what I'm gonna do is the side without the time fuse. Take this wood glue. This is Tight Bond wood glue. You can get it anywhere. I'm just going to quickly just run around the outside perimeter. Just like that. Just takes a second. Okay. Then I'm going to get a piece of tissue paper, cut these little squares up, and I'm just going to lay it on here. And just tap it down lightly. Okay. That right there. If you're going to do this method, you need to actually glue it. You can't just bend it over there and use tape. Okay. Now that right there will dry in just a couple minutes to the point where you could flip it over. Okay. So the other half of the shell, which these stars are heavy, and so I am going to boost it. And I've got here a little bit of flash made in real small batches, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon is about 0.9 grams, so I'm gonna just eyeball a half like that, and I'm just gonna dump it right in the middle. Okay, and then when I've done that, I am going to put glue around this hemi. You can see I'm just coating it, just enough so that it touches everywhere. And then I've got 6 of these quick grip clamps. You can squeeze them like a trigger and they tighten up. So then I'm going to take this half that I glued the paper to. I'm going to flip it over onto this one. Get it to go together for the most part. Okay, and it's closed up, and there's glue oozing out. Okay, after that, I'm just going to get this clamp and clamp it, and it'll be dry enough to where I could take the clamp off in about 5 minutes. So if you have 6 or 7 clamps, you can continuously go, and you never run out of something to do. So after one of them has been sitting for 5 minutes. I just take this paper, just tear it off of here real quick. Okay, you don't have to get it all off. Okay, but what you have is a shell that's just held together with glue. Okay, I take 2 pieces of this tape, about 1 foot long, just wrap it around here like this. Okay, put it down and then just smear it around in my hand. Get it to stick everywhere. I'm gonna get a second one. Wrap this one. So you end up with about 2.5 layers, maybe 3, and that is it. So, and this one is green. Okay. All right, so I've got that shell, and I've got my time fuse or Visca sticking out of the bottom. So I'm gonna take a pair of side cutters. I'm just gonna grab these down the center long ways and split them in half. And after that, I'm gonna pull them open. Kind of like that. Okay. So I've done that. I'm going to take my hot glue and I am going to put right next to the time fuse blob. Okay. And I'm going to put a TT star right here. Then I'm going to take and put a loop of hot glue over top of the star and then down the other side and then right around the time fuse. Like that. Okay, then while that's still wet or not cold, just gonna dip it in this granulated TT mix. So it's just all covered up with TT and that it lights really easy. Okay, so then I got just a regular Dixie cup, put a little blob of hot glue in there and then a piece of quick match. Okay, then after I've got this lift cup with the quick match attached to it, I'm going to take 12 grams of lift, which is just granulated, or I'm sorry, I used the Rice Krispies on, or meal on Rice Krispies. And then I'm just going to take a couple dabs of glue, 1, 2, 3, and then take the shell and put it right on top. And that's it. It'll be actually the very first shell. It's green, and that's going to be the first shell that's going to go off on the 4th. And that is to the T exactly how I'm going to make every one of these shells. And I'm the only person I saw that does it this method. So try it out, see what you think. And it's a lot faster than you think, I'm sure of that. And I'm the only person out there that I ever saw that has done this. And I think that you'll like the results if you just give it a shot, just once or twice. But that wood glue really makes a difference. So just as an experiment, I took a 3-inch ball shell and I just glued it together. There's no tape. I'm going to try to see how strong this really is. My battery died in the middle of that, but I had to hit that a bunch of times for it to totally come apart, and it started to actually break in other places. So my conclusion with this whole thing is that if you're taping a shell, this shell's already 330 seconds. That's pretty thick. So when I think, and I'm not saying that I'm right, but it seems to me that when you tape a whole shell, the seam is the weakest part, and you add onto the whole entire part of the shell, including here where it's already thicker and stronger than the seam. So that was my reason for trying to do this, because it just seemed unnecessary. But the wood glue, I think, you'd be surprised on how strong that really is. It sounds like, no way, that's stupid. Gluing that little tiny edge, that's not going to do anything. But I've actually launched shells without any tape at all, and they were decent. I mean, it wasn't anything great, but probably because my BP wasn't that great. But I think that I've got my BP as fast as I could possibly get it now. So, but all right, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments, like it, hate it, whatever. All right, guys, see ya.